What's up, traders? It's Mark Sebastian, your only option. Today, I'm going to do a quick wrap up of the week that was. We're going to talk about option pricing. Don't worry, it won't be boring. And then I'm going to preview next week and give you that one stock you want to watch for next week. So, with that, let's dig in. All right, traders. So, it was quite the week. I mean, on the whole, a pretty positive week. But just kind of sullied a little bit by the action on Friday. Now, Friday we ended up only being down 40 points, down 0.6%. Not a huge, hairy deal. What was interesting is how bid up the VIX got. It was actually almost 16 at certain points during the day. And what's amazing is we're really not experiencing a lot of volatility. Average true range of the S&P is 48. So call that two-thirds of a percent, and realized volatility on the 10-day is now, below 10, and the 20-day is below 12. So it's really strange that behavior, because VIX, like I said, really bid. It actually did. Yeah, it got to 1597. So the VIX, where it stands today, is pricing at almost 1% a day of movement. We're nowhere near that. And yet, what's interesting even more is that, yes, the VIX is cheap, but near-dated option, or the VIX is expensive, but near-dated options are not. So what do I mean by that? Take a look at for SPX. I want to take a look at next Friday's options. Now, remember, between now and Friday, we have Broadcom earnings. We have ADP employment. We also have non-farm payrolls on Friday. Obviously, a lot is riding on those. They could totally move the market. Look what happened with CPI 2 weeks ago and PPI after. So you would think, hey, traders are probably worried about this. Nope. If you go to next Friday, and this is actually a little bit juiced, if you go to next Friday's options, they're pricing in, oh, it's the 8th. I want the 5th. Sorry, folks. If you look at next Friday's options, they're pricing in about $75. A little of movement, a little bit more than 1%. So that when I say movement, I'm talking about buying the call and buying the put at the same time. They're only pricing at $75 with all of that economic data heading our way. Way too cheap. I said the same thing last night when we put this video out. We were heading into PCE, and then at the money straddle was $25. At the lows, the S&P was down over 60. You'd have been just selling the put at like $65. More than 100% you got to sit on a call for free, for a huge credit even. So there's something off with near-dated option pricing where they're way too cheap. And then if you go to long-dated option pricing, it's way too expensive. So what's the natural trade? Sell the long-dated stuff and trade the near-dated stuff. Makes a lot of sense to me. Looking ahead, as I said, options look too cheap for next week. We do have earnings in Broadcom. Broadcom back below $300. It was down, call it $11.25 on Friday. They're actually bigger than Tesla. So when you use the Magnificent Seven, you're leaving out a company bigger than Tesla. So I would say grade 8. And then when Taiwan Semiconductor gets over $1 trillion, which it will, we'll call it the Nifty 9. How's that sound? Sounds good to me. Looking ahead to next week, what stock am I paying really close attention to? And I know I've talked about this one a lot. I've talked about Google, and the other one I love is Reddit. It got the little post-earnings sell-off and is now, I believe, starting to rally again. I'm liking Reddit is currently worth about $40 billion. This is going to be a $100 billion company in under 12 months. This is my best investment idea that I personally have. All right, folks, I hope you have a wonderful long weekend. If you didn't get a chance to join Alicia's Small Account Challenge, you missed a doozy already. She did her first live session, and she did her first trade, but there's still time to get in. So if you haven't joined, change that. It is an absolute steal at the current price point, and that price will be going up. So click this link in this email. If you're watching me on YouTube, please like and subscribe. And for all of you watching, I hope you have an amazing, lovely long weekend. I am Mark Sebastian. I am your only option. I'll be back on Tuesday.